Hello cats and kittens, Mama Cat Gamer here. We are continuing our adventures with Gavtia in the Heavensward expansion. We are currently up to Siege or Not to Siege. And I was streaming a little bit, recording a little bit a while back, a few days ago, and thought I was going to get more done. But we ended up doing a bunch of job quests, which is great. I mean, we need to keep moving the job quests along. And some of them are really fun. I love the Dragoon story. I unlocked Reaper finally, which is my favorite job. Anybody who's been around me long enough, Jay's Mama Cat Gamer's talking about Reaper again. But I just, it's great. It's a great job. It's not too hard for my arthritic hands to play. It's got some nice self-defensives. Hits pretty hard. It's not the top DPSing job by any means, but it's one of the ones that's a little more forgiving for my older gamer self. And when you get to this point, you got to think about that kind of thing. I don't want my hands hurting at the end of a session. That's just not fun. All right. To siege or not to siege? What do we got to do there? I think I need to go pick it up is what I need to do. Okay. Because I don't even see it in my job quests here. All right, we got to go to Vesper Bay, it looks like. Yeah, if you ever get lost and you go, I don't have any story, I don't know where to go for my next main scenario quest job, you just click the button up in the upper right or wherever you move it to. It'll bring the map up for you and tell you where you need to go to pick it up. So since it's in Vesper Bay, I'm going to use my tickets to get there because I can't. Oh my goodness, I got a lot of junk in my inventory there. I'm betting we gotta talk to Urianger. Oh no, there's Alfino. Alright, Alfino says, to siege or not to siege, Alfino is distracted by a call on his link pearl. Tataru, yes, General Rauban is now in safe hands. What? Another assault? Very well, we shall return at once. Pray, notify the Count of our coming. It would seem we face another crisis. The Dravanians are preparing to resume their siege of the Holy See. Though I am loath to abandon the Sultana to her fate, we lack the necessary evidence to act upon Dulala's claims. That being the case, I propose we leave Marshal Tarupin and the others to investigate, and return with all haste to Ishgard. While I'm here, I'm just going to double check and make sure Urianger doesn't have anything he needs for us. Oh, let's see what Yugiri has to say. My fellow Romans and I are glad to have been of service in the Flame General's rescue. If there is aught else we can do, know that we are ever at your disposal. Papa Shan says, thank you for rescuing General Raban from the bottom of my heart. To behold him now gaunt and unkempt, it pains me to think of all the hardship he has endured. I have taken charge of matters here. Consider yourself free to tend to other, more pressing tasks. What does Arnvald have to say? Thank the gods you're all right. 'Twas a mighty struggle from what I heard. Would that I could have fought by your side. I don't know if he means rescuing the general or something else, so. I'm gonna mend my gear while I'm thinking about it. I was crafting a few few items last night. Pippin. Pray do not tarry for my father's sake. I will see that he is well looked after. And should we uncover any information on her Grace's whereabouts, I promise you will be the first to know. You know, maybe we ought to, like, clean the poor guy up and dress his wounds first. You know, instead of letting him just, you know, sit here. It avails us not to dwell upon that which we have lost. Nay, we must focus on protecting that which we yet have. Okay. Put the poor guy in bed and... Get the healers in there, man. Where are the chirurgeons? Rionshe says, none save thee can deliver Ishgard from Lady Iceheart's vengeance. Pray hasten now to Whitebrim Front, where Lord Drillmont awaiteth thy coming even now. Alright, speak with Tataru outside Fort Tom Manor. We're gonna return to Foundation. Oh, I need to eat some food. Gotta keep that food buff up. Elfino says, let us hear what the Count has to say. Tataru, ah, there you are. Sorry for cutting your reunion with General Rauban short. I wouldn't have bothered you, but the city's awash with rumors of another Dravanian attack, and Lord Orshfon was desperate to get hold of you. Speaking of whom, he and the others are waiting for you inside, so you'd better head in. All right, let's go in. Orshfon says, my friend, I thank you for answering our call with such alacrity. As I am sure you are now aware, the Dravanians are once again gathering for war. Count Edmont says, Master Tia, Master Levailleur, I must apologize for this abrupt summons, but we thought it best to have Mistress Tataru contact you by the most direct means available. Artuaro says, when the observatorium's bells toll, 'tis a warning that cannot be ignored. The Holy See has ordered that we make ready for battle. Manolaine adds, in case you haven't heard, a band of trappers returning from the west claim they saw a cloud of dragons big enough to dim the midday sky. Count Edmond de Forton says, Nidhogg's minions gather once more for war. But I would not have you take up arms in another of our conflicts. When first you came to Ishgard, I offered you my protection. If I cannot assure your safety here, I cannot well accept your aid, much less ask for it. Scions of the Seventh Dawn, you are faced with a choice, to remain in a besieged Ishgard or seek sanctuary elsewhere. I would not presume to influence your decision, but I must ask that you make it swiftly, lest our enemies force your hand. Like we're ever going to turn down a fight with dragons, right? All right, do they have anything else to say? How many dragons would it take to darken the midday sun, do you think? 1,000? More? Too many at any rate. The Count says, I confess, I know not where else you might seek sanctuary, but few places are like to be more perilous than a city under siege. Yeah, I turned it down. Yeah. Artuarel says, the observatorium bells have tolled. Either flee this place or make ready for war. Orshfon says, the coming of the Horde spells ruin for Ishgard, but her knights shall fight to the last to shield her citizens from harm. Orshfon, never change. What else will become of this place and us? Elfino says, though we flee to the ends of the world, 'twould seem that no place in this troubled age is free of strife. Once more the horde descends upon Ishgard, and once more her weary defenders must take up spear and bow. The Count would have us seek shelter from this storm, but I, for one, grow tired of running. If we are to shine the light of dawn, we must do so in the sight of our fellow man, not hungered in a hole. What say you, Gav? We could say, I would stay and fight. We cannot stay here. Or, humph. I'm gonna do humph. I mean, Gav would probably say I would stay and fight, but I want to see what this answer is. Alfino says, that is your answer? By the 12, how could you? But wait, mayhap remaining in the city would not best serve our friends and allies. Mayhap there is another choice. All right. Do they say anything different after that? Okay, no. Let's see what else Alfino has to say. He's deliberating how best to proceed. The choice we make this day may have grave implications for our order. It is only right that Tataru should have a say. Come, let us all meet outside and discuss the path that lies before us. Yeah, some of the... like this quest accepted music can be pretty loud, and trying to find a good balance between background music and stuff like that is challenging. Tataru says, what will become of this place and us? Okay, she hasn't changed.
Ishgard cannot well endure another assault. Even should her knights succeed in turning back the horde, the casualties will be catastrophic.
But what other choice do we have? It's not like we can talk it over with them. Dragons and men aren't exactly on speaking terms.
With certain notable exceptions.
You don't mean Iceheart?
When last you spoke with her, she lamented her crimes, did she not? Then there remains a sliver of hope. If we can persuade Iceheart to act as our intermediary, we may yet be able to convince Nidhogg to abandon his bloody course.
If there is to be a meeting, I would accompany you.
Oh, there's a Estinian.
Estinian?
Even with your intermediary, Nidhogg's blood rage may render him deaf to reason. However, the mere attempt may afford our forces precious time to prepare. Of course, you might also consider a more direct approach to ending this conflict. With the power of the Eye at my disposal, and the vaunted strength of the Warrior of Light, we could conceivably slay the beast outright.
If we are to risk a face-to-face meeting with the Dread Worm, I for one would feel safer in the company of the Azure Dragoon. However, I should only turn to your Lance if my words failed to find their mark. Is that clear?
Alfino, like, laying down the law of the land there, man. I'm not sure how Estinian would take that regularly. He's probably thinking, damn teenager trying to tell me what to do.
Perfectly. I shall assume that Iceheart enjoys similar diplomatic protection until instructed otherwise.
Oh, I love that. The veiled.
A word of advice. Think carefully before divulging the particulars of this plan to Sir Emmerich. 'Twould not do to have the Lord Commander accused of consorting with heretics.
Indeed. I thank you for your counsel, Estinian. We shall be honored to have you with us.
I am glad to be of service.
I love that nicely veiled. You're gonna hold me to that. You better hold her to that account too. Alfino says, "We have chosen a difficult road, yet even should we succeed in winning Iceheart to our cause, our plans for parley will swiftly come to naught should the Holy See decide to strike first against the Horde. We must petition the Lord Commander's aid ere we set forth. I only hope that Sir Emmerich will be able to muzzle Ishgard's forces on the strength of our vague assurances. Tataru, I would ask that you remain at Fort Tom Manor and inform the Count of our decision. Tell him that the Scions of the Seventh Dawn mean to do all in their power to ensure that Ishgard and her people survive." Yes, sir! Except we're going in the wrong direction, I think, to get to the Holy See, but alright. Oh, now we get his office. Okay. You would speak with the Lord Commander? Pray, make it quick. Proceed to the seat of the Lord Commander, yes.
I want the defenses of the Outer Ward rechecked. See to it that the ballistas are in good repair and supplied with enough ammunition for a prolonged siege.
At once, my lord.
Ah, 'twould seem I have visitors. And unlike those messing beyond our walls, these ones are welcome.
Pray forgive us for interrupting you in the midst of your preparations, Sir Emmerich, but our suit concerns the impending assault. To speak plain, we believe there is a chance the invasion might be halted before it even begins. I can divulge little more at this time, but I must nevertheless request that you advise the Holy See to refrain from launching any preemptive sorties whilst we seek to put our plans in motion.
I will gladly lend my support to any endeavor that could spare the blood of my countrymen, but I would know more of the cause you would have me champion. Will you not share aught of this mysterious undertaking?
Know that I have offered my lance to aid in this endeavor. I cannot claim that its success is assured, but our actions should serve to delay Nidhogg's advance at the very least. Which is more than can be said for the ill-conceived counterattack advocated by the Sea's more vocal crusaders. They offer glorious death, but little hope of victory.
Aye, their proposal does not inspire confidence. Our resources should rightly be spent shoring up the city's defenses. The Azure Dragoon and the Warrior of Light sallying forth together to face the dread worm Nidhogg. I must admit the mere thought of it does much to dispel my misgivings. Go then, carry out your plan. I shall do what I can for you within the Holy See.
Yeah, right. Alfino is definitely short. He's technically still a teenager. Although his parents are quite tall. Justinian says, I will say this for your plan. It has made keeping secrets from the Holy See seem almost entertaining. Having secured Sir Emmeric's support, we may proceed without fear of a preemptive Ishgardian attack, which is not to say we can afford to dither. History tells us that the Dravanians will attack as soon as their horde reaches a critical size. Before that happens, we must needs track down and win over the Lady Iceheart, and then locate and parley with Nidhogg. In short, time is against us. If you are ready, Estinian, let us be about our task.
Such commotion.
Yes, Your Eminence. The bells of the Observatorium warn of our enemy's approach.
So, the dragons are coming. Let them come, in their hundreds and their thousands. With the divine blade in our hands, we shall rend their flesh and drown the heretics in their master's blood. Even Nidhogg and his foul brood shall be powerless to resist us. And when we have rid the world of their pestilence, we shall turn our attention to our Ascian allies. See that they are suitably rewarded for their invaluable assistance.
There's quite an undercurrent going on there. Not sure what the Archbishop has planned there.
If I may, Your Eminence, the Paragons wield powers strange and unknowable. Can we be certain that they will not see through our deception?
We can be certain of naught save the righteousness of our cause. If you would be a true leader of men, you must possess conviction as well as caution. We seek to excise the root of an evil that has blighted us for 1,000 years. The risk is worth the reward.
And what of Estinian and this Warrior of Light? They have plans of their own.
Leave them to their purpose. We must each play the role we have been given. You and your chosen brothers most of all.
For the glory of King Thordan.
Oh my. So he's let an Ascian take over his body. Oh my goodness. Stinian says, okay, he hasn't changed anything. All right. I get a little wind-up Alphino after this. Alphino would see to one final matter before setting forth. Before we set forth, we must needs inform Tataru of our plans. Estinian says, then I shall wait you at Sir Renette's forum. Tell your friend we may be some time. The road you have chosen is neither short nor easy. Alphino says, of that I need no reminding. Come, Gav, let us head back to Fort Tom Manor. Okay, Master Tia, shall I show you inside the manor? Yes, yes, you shall. Elfino says, our course is set, Tataru. It may be some time before Gav and I return to Ishgard. Tataru says, well, just you be careful, all right? Oh, and don't worry about me. I'll be busy listening out for news of our lost friends. Elfino says, if anyone can find them, it is you, Tataru. Farewell for now. Oh, before you go, you must put this on, Elfino. I made it specially. No, I couldn't possibly. Very well. By the 12, it fits perfectly. And the quality is actually rather good. How about you just say thank you, Alphino? Jeez. I'm glad you like it, says Tataru. I've been practicing my needlework while I listen to rumors and the like. A good receptionist is always learning new skills. Alphino says, my thanks, Tataru. Whatever else awaits me upon the road, I shall not fear the cold. Tataru says, 'twas the least I could do. Now, I must be getting back to the tavern or I'll never catch up with all the gossip. Best of luck on your journey. Yeah, I like this outfit on him too. It really looks good. I like the ones they have in Endwalker also. Alright, does the steward have anything else to say? Oh, you are still here, Master Tia. I was under the impression you had already embarked upon your journey. Do you require assistance? Not at this time. Anything from the manservant? Ah, 'tis in the very face of fire and ruin that one must remain calm and collected. Yeah, that's true, but very hard to do. It takes time to actually learn that. Alright, we gotta speak with the Stinian. Where's he at? By the Sky Steel Manufactory. Okay. Let's go there then. I'll pick up Machinist in a while too. I want to get through more of the story. Elfino says, this new attire will serve me well in the bitter cold of Kurthus. I shall have to thank Tataru properly upon our return. Yeah, I really like Tataru a lot. She's absolutely adorable. And fun and smart, too. Estinian says, you have said your farewells, then? Alfino says, aye, we are ready to depart. I suggest we begin our search for Lady Iceheart without delay. Estinian says, very well, but she will prove an elusive quarry. Where do you intend to start looking? Alfino says, in the absence of any fresh intelligence on Izael's movements, I propose we pick up the trail where she was encountered last, the Kurthus Western Highlands. Let us speak with Sir Redwald, was it? As the commander of Falcon's Nest, it is like that he will know if any heretic activity has been reported in the area. Yeah, it's a pretty fun class. I've got my machinist to level 100 finally on Tyrius. Alright, let's quick travel down to Falcon's Nest. I could take the Chocobo, but it's just faster the quick travel. I'm gonna leave those alone there. I'm gonna have to buy some Geishel greens fairly soon. Well, Master Tia, what business brings you back to Falcon's Nest? Judging by the company you keep, it can be no trifling matter. The Azure Dragoon I know, of course, but I do not believe I have met this young gentleman. Alfino says, Alfino Levailleur, at your service. And you are not mistaken as to the gravity of our mission, Sir Redwald. As I am sure you are aware, the Observatorium has warned that the Dravanians gather for another assault. We believe there may be yet a way to avert the coming conflict, but only if we can find the elusive Lady Iceheart. Thus have we come to Falcon's Nest in the hope of acquiring the latest intelligence on the heretics' movements. I see. Then you would be best served by speaking directly to my men. The patrol is due to return from its sweep of the surrounding lands at any moment. You may also wish to question the knights assigned to pick over the remains of the heretic refuge at Gorgania Mills. 'Tis possible they have unearthed information that could be of use to you. Master Tia knows well the place I speak of, for it was he who first discovered it. Justinian says, let us divide our forces then. I will stay and await the return of the patrol, while the two of you visit this refuge. When I have completed my inquiries, I will join you there. A wise use of our time. Come, Gav. I am eager to learn what Sir Redwald's men have found in the heretic's lair. All right, let us drive out to Girth's BFE. Convenient thing being level 70 is I don't have to worry about aggroing all this crap in the field. There's somebody just starting off their journey in Heavensward there. They're killing some deep eyes. Alright, I forgot how to... I gotta go over the bridge. Okay. Forgotten how to do armor. Are you talking about equipping the armor or something else? Ooh, I don't want to get near that guy. It's a boss monster. Oh, knowing the right one. Yeah, aggroing is very painful when trying to travel. Yeah, if you are 11 levels or higher, then the surrounding area, you will not aggro them. And remember that, the ones with the white icons over their head will not aggro until you attack them. It's only the red and yellow icons that will aggro aggressively. Oh, yeah. It's always helpful. I upgrade mine roughly every 5 to 10 levels. And it'll typically say in 3-letter icons what the armor is for. And so it'll tell you what class it's for. And Disciple of War is always the melee DPS and tanks and range DPS. And Disciple of Magic is always the magic users, the healers, and the ones like Arcanist, Red Mage, Blue Mage, Black Mage. Trying to think of a Pictomancer. Anyway, the casters basically use Disciple of Magic. Anybody who's the non-caster uses Disciple of War. If you have to pick between the two. But there's a little... Let me see if I can see what it says. Like, you'll see in my tooltip. And you might have to expand the size on your screen a little bit if it's too small. Right under the item level... I got my tooltip up in the upper right corner here. It tells you the name at the very top. I've got mine glamored over, so it gives the glamour plate. It tells you then the stats, the defense and magic defense, and then it tells you the item level, which is 385 in this case. And right below it is the little 3-word acronym for your job. Okay, and it says RPR, which means that only Reaper can wear it. Right, and the minimum level you have to be is right below that, so you have to be a minimum level 70 to equip it. Advanced melding is forbidden, meaning you can't over meld, which is a whole nother topic in and of itself. Now, it gives you some more stats below it, the bonuses, and then it says 2 materia, and then there's 2 open circles underneath, which means I could put 2 pieces of materia. They're kind of like... augments in Star Wars. All right. The main thing is to keep your... I find keeping your weapon and your chest and legs are the ones that really need to keep upgraded. It's also really easy to get behind on your right side, your jewelry stuff. Really easy to get behind on that. So I try and keep that upgraded. Usually if you have the equipment, the blue stuff... that you can get from the Poetics vendor. I can't access the Poetic vendor in Ishgard yet. You have to complete each expansion to be able to unlock that vendor. So I don't have access to that yet. But for tanks, they recommend upgrading definitely every 5 levels. And for DPS and healers, every 10 at minimum. Okay, I like to upgrade it roughly every 5-ish. Just because once you get into, like, say if I get to level 77, I notice a distinct decrease in the ability to kill the monsters quickly. So I try and do it every 5-ish. Elfino says, "'Tis a simple farmhouse. It makes one wonder what other innocent facades the heretics have chosen to hide behind." Master Tia, our findings, you say? Well, there is something of a tale here. No sooner had we chanced upon a promising-looking sheaf of letters than we were ambushed from the shadows by great white beasts. 'Twould seem the heretics foresaw our coming and left behind their pets to discourage further investigation. Several of our number were badly wounded. Elfino says, "And you cannot carry out your duties until the creatures are slain. We have not the time to wait for reinforcements. Let us deal with these pets ourselves, Gav." Oop. I got family here. Hold on. My daughter is, came in like limping, so I had to make sure everything was okay. This is what you do when you're a mama cat gamer, right? You gotta take care of the family. See if the expedition leader has anything. "We were ill prepared for what awaited us at the farmhouse. Forgive me, but until the creatures have been put down, we cannot safely continue our investigation." All right, let's make sure I got my egg equipped. Oh, it's polar bears. Elfino says, oh dear. The creature took me by surprise. Forgive me until my hands stop shaking. I fear I shall prove more a hindrance than a help. Pray, go on ahead, and when you are certain that the rest of these things have been slain, notify the expedition leader that it is safe to return. Alfino, come on. You've slain more than this before. Unless he has a bear phobia. Well, that was quick. Just swipe them twice with my scythe and they're done. Trying to see if I can see anything inside there. I can't get a good view. See if you have anything new. I heard a frightful growling from below. You encountered more of the beast, I take it? Well, yeah, but, you know, I'm cool and I took care of it. Oh, here's a Stinian. My inquiries availed me naught. The patrol leader had little to say beyond which of his extremities the frost had bitten the hardest. Expedition leader says, the beasts are slain, then. My thanks, Master Tia. We may return to our duty without fear of a mauling. Wondering if he had anything new to say. You see, you get these materias here. Materia 4 is, like, pretty useless, so... I don't even bother melding materia into my armor until we're at max level. Because there's... You could give yourself a few extra direct hit plus 4. And my direct hit is 858. So a plus 4 isn't going to do squat, really. Oops, I missed that first one. Let's see what he said. You wish to track down Lady Iceheart. Is this not so? The records we discovered ere those beasts mauled my comrades appeared to be some manner of correspondence. We had not the luxury of perusing their contents more closely, intent as we were on surviving in an onslaught of fang and claw, but I'd wager those epistles contain more than friendly salutations betwixt lonely heretics. Estinian said, my interrogation of the patrol proved fruitless. Either we divine some clue from these letters, or we wander the snowfields and pray that the gods lead us right to Iceheart's door. 'Tis hardly a choice at all. Alright, let's go back in and... See, I want to unlock Alfino here. Oh, look, boys, we're having bear meat for dinner. Yeah, right? There's no good way to keep... It's either too loud or too not loud. Too low. Expedition leader. Ah, the letters here in a neat pile, just here. But 'twould seem the skirmish with the beast has scattered them rather thoroughly. Justinian says, where are these damnable pages? I'd rather battle 20 Avises than continue this confounded search. I have found some few of these letters. Let us gather a respectable stack and see what secrets the expedition captain can wring from the collected correspondence. I swear to God, Koji Fox loves alliteration. Alright, well, might as well go upstairs and see if there's one up there. There probably is. Oh, yeah, yeah, there you go. This environmental music is one of my favorite pieces. It's so beautiful. Have you recovered much of the heretics' correspondence? Alright, these epistles, what appears to be a record of past correspondence held between individuals regarded as heretics by the Holy See. Splendid! Added to the contributions from Master Leveilleur and Sir Estinian, we now have more than a dozen letters. What have we here then? Every one of these pages is a record of the dealings betwixt the Gorgania Mills heretics and their fellows in the Akafa amphitheater. There are requests for foodstuffs, clothing, and all manner of provisions. Iceheart's followers must yet inhabit the ruins we had thought abandoned. I'm gonna buy the critical hit one. That's if you're gonna sell them on the market board, which you can do. The critical hit ones are the most useful ones typically to pick up. These are requests for foodstuffs, clothing. Okay. Estinian. Akafa is taken from the dragon's tongue. It means roughly eternal circle. 'Tis little wonder the heretics thought to return to the place. Sounding out the amphitheater. Elfino seems intent on traveling to the Akafa amphitheater. The Akafa amphitheater. Now I've said that like 3 times in a row, right? The very place where you witnessed the manifestation of the primal Shiva, was it not? Estinian says, if that is our destination, the journey will be long indeed. The amphitheater lies on the other side of a treacherous tract of ice and snow that cannot swiftly be crossed. Elfino says, then we must place our faith in the Ethernet. As you may recall, our dear friend Moonbrida succeeded in recreating the Akafa beacon after it had been destroyed by Lady Iceheart. At the time, it was assumed that the resultant aetherite would only be temporarily viable. But given that the heretics of Gorgania Mills seem to have been in regular contact with their brethren at the amphitheater, I'll wager it still functions. I suggest we make for the aetherite within Snowcloak without delay. Correct me if I am wrong, Estinian, but in the course of mapping the Snowcloak tunnel system, a passage was discovered leading out into the Western Highlands, was it not? Might it be possible for us to reach the aetherite from this side of the wall? Estinian says, it should. House Durandare posted soldiers at the Western Highlands entrance after the tunnels were cleared, but they will not deny us entry. Do you mean to follow the heretic's trail, then? I will see that Sir Redwald is informed. Yeah, I'm not sure what the music balance is really challenging. It's either really loud or really quiet, and I never know when it's gonna crescendo or decrescendo, unfortunately. So, sounding out the amphitheater. Upon learning that the Akafa amphitheater may yet harbor their quarry, Alfino suggests employing the swiftest means of travel available, the aetherite found within the warrens of Snowcloak. Speak with the House Durandare guard stationed at the tunnel entrance in the Western Highlands. So we have to speak with Trista Chambel, who is just kind of down the road a little bit. It's actually going to be easier to go to Falcon's Nest and go up from there. I'll tell you, this week by us, the weather was as cold as Kurthus, let me tell you. We gotta go down more. Okay. I can't go down that way. Oh, there they are. Okay. What ails our young lord? The moment we arrived at the wall, his face took on an ashen pallor. Does he fear facing the heretics within their own lair? Alfino says, do you recall the first time you ventured into these tunnels in search of Lady Iceheart? It seems an age ago, does it not? Back then, I still believed myself the commander of the Crystal Braves. Ah, the guest of House Fortin, accompanied by the Azure Dragoon, no less. I cannot imagine what brought you out this far, but you are welcome to enter the tunnels if that is your will. Alfino says, assuming the Akafa beacon still functions, and we must pray to the 12 it does, we shall arrive at our destination in mere moments. Though I do not expect to be greeted by the primal Shiva, we should nevertheless be prepared for a frosty reception. The heretics are not like to rejoice at the appearance of uninvited guests, particularly ones with our history. Duty calls. All right, I'm going to take a quick bio break. So give me about 5 minutes. And then we will do the instance duty, because I can't remember how long it is. All right, I will be back. All right, we have a solo duty here. Y'all know how much I love those. So, I get that they're trying to make interesting mechanics and things like that, but it's like, ugh. Let me get some coffee to fortify myself. Okay. We gotta talk to Triste Chambel. Ah, the guest of House Fortin, accompanied by the Azure Dragoon, no less. I cannot imagine what brought you out this far, but you are welcome to enter the tunnels if that is your will. Day off? No, it's my usual day off. Since we work Saturdays, I take Wednesdays off. Assuming the Akafa beacon still functions, and we must pray to the 12 it does, we shall arrive at our destination in mere moments. Though I do not expect to be greeted by the primal Shiva, we should nevertheless be prepared for a frosty reception. The heretics are not like to rejoice at the appearance of uninvited guests, particularly ones with our history. There we go. An impressive structure. I wonder how many ages it has endured. Justinian says, mayhap you should ask its occupants. They seem a friendly bunch. Heretic says, dogs of Ishgard! Is it not enough that you banish our beloved saint? Will you not be satisfied until the ice is slick with the last drops of our blood? Alfino says, stay your weapons. We come under the flag of parley. We wish only to speak with your mistress, that we might broker a peace. Heretic says, do you think us fools, boys? It will take more than honeyed words to earn our trust. You walk with the Dragon Slayer, and we know all too well that what he is capable of. Justinian says, my reputation precedes me. Elfino says, they give us no choice. Come, brothers, may dragon wings bear us to victory. All right. We need to kill... You want to kill the casters first. Okay, healers first. No, we did not come here to fight. Waste no more words on them. They are deaf to reason. Casters first always.
Your god is down.
The fury, they partake of the blood of dragons. 7 hells can dragon blood truly bring about such a transformation? Apparently, yeah. Lucio of the first line. Okay, let's get the mages again. When the mages pop up, they're priority. I don't think that was interruptible.
Release!
Know your folly.
Heretic says, they fight like demons. 'Tis death to remain. Fall back, brothers. Retreat to the cinders. Oh, I wonder where the cinders are. Elfino says, I see no sign of Lady Iceheart. Would that we could have questions from one of them. Estinian says, what would you ask that we do not already know? They make for the cinders, and so was me. Let me try that again. What would you ask that we do not already know? They make for the cinders, and so must we. Even should an ambush await us, 'tis certain there will be more heretics to question. The cinders, you say? I confess, the name is unknown to me. Mayhap you would be so good as to enlighten us, Estinian. Estinian says, I suspect it is the heretic's way of referring to the Dreaming Dragon, an island of sorts found in the midst of the frozen lake of Ashpool. Some 500 years past, 'tis told that the Azure Dragoon of the age fought a dragon of titanic proportions. After a savage struggle, the mighty creature was weakened unto the point of death and forced into a magic slumber by an entire chapter of the Holy Sea's sorcerers. Ere long, a rain of ash and cinders did begin to fall upon the sleeping serpent's motionless form, covering the creature at length in a shroud of gray. Of course, a thick layer of ice has since formed on top of it, but you may be sure I speak true. A fascinating tale. We should make haste to the Sashan Isle. See what they say. What? You've driven off the heretics? That should certainly ease the minds of our surveyors. Elfinos adds, only in a land where war has raged for 1,000 years could enough ash fall to bury a dragon the size of an island? Estinian says, the dreaming dragon lies far to the west. Before we approach the frozen beast, however, there is another place I would visit first. I'm told the convictors have set up camp in Twin Pools. Their leader, Chantelot, may have information of use to us. But mayhap you are not familiar with that name either. The convictors are dragon slayers, after a fashion, but I am willing to wager that they encounter their fair share of heretics. If we are indeed walking into a trap, I would learn all there is to know of our foe. Alfino says, a sound suggestion. Let us speak with these convictors then, and temper our haste with a measure of caution. If you ever get stuck down here and can't find a way out, you can actually just port to Falcon's Nest, and if you have the Chocobo porter open, you can just fly over to it. In my situation, I think it's kind of 6 1 half dozen the other. What will be faster? If you like snowscapes, this is definitely one of the prettier versions of it. At least there's some variety. Like in Hoth in Star Wars The Old Republic MMO, Hoth is like just blindingly white and barren. This at least has, you know, some hills and trees and just kind of interesting stuff going on. All right, here's Chantelot. Just kind of sitting there. Well, well, what do we have here? Hoping to join the esteemed ranks of the convictors, are we? The hard-eyed lad looks promising, but you have a frail look about you, boy. I give you 3 days ere the wilds claim your corpse. It's like, you're okay. You little freaking teenager, you're not gonna make it. I beg your pardon, says Alfino. Justinian says, be not so quick to judge. I have seen this, quote, frail youth fell heretics with a flick of his wrist. And who are you to question my... By the Fury! That armor, that lance, the Azure Dragoon himself graces our camp. Pray, forgive my disrespect, sir. I am Chantelot, leader of the Convictors and fellow slayer of dragons. May I ask what winds, fair or foul, carry you into our humble camp? Ah, Lady Iceheart, is it? Aye, I know her by reputation, but I'm afraid I've seen naught of her or her people. That said, my own men can be somewhat lax when it comes to making reports. You may wish to question them yourselves. Thank you, we shall, says Alfino. Gav, Estinian, let us make our way through the camp and see what information there is to be had. Okay, I don't know if you can hear the soprano in the background, but my God, can she hit the high notes. Holy cow, and hits them clean. That's not easy to do. All right. I see these are Aether Current quests, so we're going to pick them up. Because they're probably be able to complete them as we're pursuing through the MSQ, so we're going to pick them up. Gentilo wants you to experience firsthand what life at the Convictory is like. I remember you. How could I forget? You're the lad who was in the Azure Dragoon's company. Since you are here anyway, perhaps you might like to try your hand at a spot of hunting before you depart. See for yourself what life is like for us Convictors. The Dravanian Horde is stronger than you might expect. Unless you've been at it for years, like I have, I think it prudent to start with something simple and then work your way up to dragons. I suggest rooms. Slay 3 of those and then come back here. Consider it a warm-up. Wild Theo. That looks more like a Welsh name than a Britain kind of French name. For all the nights to come, the dead care not for justice, but Wildthrow would see them have it just the same. Cowards, all of you, have you no shame at all? Oh, I beg your... Wait, are you not Master Tia, honored ward of House Fortin? Praise Helone, surely you will consider my quest. Know you the Dusk Vigil, westernmost of the Citadel watchtowers built to warn of the Horde's approach? 'Twas lost following the calamity, another victim of the snows. Within the ruins lies a priceless treasure which must needs be reclaimed. I thought to enlist the service of these so-called dragon slayers, but it seems their courage is not as boundless as they would have you believe. But you, sir, you are not one to shy away from danger, am I right? Very good indeed. There is a sculpture of the Fury within the Dusk Vigil's chapel. An ice rondelle is set in its helm. I would have you prize it free and deliver it to me. The Vigil is not difficult to find. Simply head north towards Banepool until you come to the gates. Knights may bar your passage, but should you explain who you are, they will grant you leave to enter. I think that unlocks a dungeon, actually. Alfino is eager to gather information on the heretics. Surely one of these people will have encountered heretics while out hunting. Pray, speak with as many as you can, Gav. Boorish Banneret. Nay, I know of no heretics. Do you honestly expect me to keep track of every... Do you honestly expect me to keep track of every Raitmo, Vermo, and Bertinaw that wanders in and out of the camp? It's their way of saying, you expect me to keep up with every Tom, Dick, and Harry? Boorish Bowman. Are there any heretics in the area? I have not the faintest idea why a heretic could pass under my very nose, and I should be none the wiser. I hunt dragons, my dear fellow. The big ones. Forever do I scan the skies for signs of my prey. I care not for the miserable creatures that scurry upon the ground. Okay. Lucier. Looking for heretics, you say? Why don't you go and bother Pierre or someone? I've enough trouble keeping these preening fops fed and clothed as it is. 'Tis no business of mine what folk do with themselves out there in the wilds. Pierre K says... Something I can help you with, my lord. Heretics, is it? Well, I've never seen one myself, but that ain't to say I haven't heard a thing or two. We would be grateful for any information you can share with us. The gods know we've gleaned precious little from talking to the rest of these people. If it please, my lord, I'm Pierre K. A soldier by trade, though not much of one if I'm honest. It weren't for the love of stabbing folk that I took up the spear, you see. No, it was by order of Sir Jeantelo's father. Still, as long as they keep paying me wages, I ain't fussy as to what they have me do. Not everyone's as patient as me, though. Plenty of low-born lads who get pressed into service start grumbling before they've seen their second battle. And once they've got to thinking how unfair it all is, it don't take much for the heretics to turn their heads. From what I hear, the simple promise of freedom tends to do it. That may explain how Lady Iceheart was able to expand her following so swiftly. Pierre K says, sad to say, some mates of mine gobbled down the heretic's tripe and asked for seconds. Told me they were off to the Western Highlands to light a signal fire. That's how you let the heretics know you're serious about joining the ranks, apparently. Send up some purple smoke and the bastards come to you. Justinian says, is that so? Why then, I am minded to start a fire. Does he have anything else to add? My lord must be a warrior of some renown to keep company with the likes of the Azure Dragoon. Me? I'd be lucky to last 3 heartbeats with some of them big, nasty Dravanians. Elfino says, I'm not familiar with the building of signal fires, but how difficult could it possibly be? Listen, that's so Elfino. He's like never even started a fire in his life. Purple flame, purple flame. This is like a takeoff on Purple Rain. If you haven't ever heard Prince's Purple Rain song, it's fantastic. Justinian wishes to prepare a signal fire to lure in the heretics. If we are to lure our foes to our position, then we must find a means of producing a signal of purple hue. As it so happens, I have heard the tale of a trapper who dropped the hide of a woolly yak onto his campfire. Aside from the terrible stench, the story also described in detail how the smoke from the smothered flames was tinged a deep violet. You are a monster hunter of some note, are you not, Gav? It should prove a trifling task for you to procure a number of hides. We may need to burn more than one ere the heretics notice our beacon. Master Alfino, you and I shall gather wood for the fire. It will take the both of us to find enough dry fuel in this frozen wasteland. Let us meet again at the Dreaming Dragon with the fruits of our labor. I wonder if she's got something for us here, too. Yep. Lucia stares out over the snowdrifts, a grim expression on her face. Want to help out, do you? Well, there's plenty that needs doing and killing besides. I'm sure you noticed that dragons aren't the only thing we have to contend with out here. Take the polar bears, for example. They come here looking for an easy meal, drawn by the smell of our cook fires, and then raid our stores. Think you could thin their numbers a little? Killing 4 or so of them should suffice. You'll be compensated for your troubles, of course. Alright, well, let's go kill everything in sight. The rooms are up above us and behind, I think. Yep, there they are down there. Pretty sure we're going to come back to the Convictory, so I'm not going to bother running over there to turn these in. Yeah, I probably want to wait to heal up before attacking, since I was down to 1 hit point there. So put my chocobo in heal stance there. I'm gonna zip up north real quick and unlock that dusk vigil. I mean, keep on keeping on. I like how these are named gelato, like, you know, like it's a treat. It's really not a treat to have them as an enemy. Nadani says, "What's this? A ward of House Forton wishes to enter the Dusk Vigil? You are aware that the ruins are infested with wild beasts and gods only know what else, are you not? Why, just the other day, one of the convictors claimed to have seen a massive winged beast, not a dragon, mind you, but something altogether different. But far be it from me to deny an esteemed personage the opportunity to kill himself in new and exciting ways. Pray, go on ahead." It's a nice way of saying, far be it from me to stop you from going and dying. See the arrow up. Which makes me think we gotta find a way up this area here. Oh, I think we are able to get to it from here. I think. Ah, there, I see a pathway up. Oh, that's cool. Nice shot of, I don't know why it's glowing, other than maybe some crystals there, but it's a pretty cool shot there. I love the detailing they put into the landscape. It's really neat. Alfino says, "I left Ishgard on a mission of noble purpose, and now here I am, scrabbling for sticks in the snow. How can my hands be at once so numb yet so sore?" I don't want to know the answer to that question. Eat another egg here. Justinian says, "'Twould seem that collecting firewood is a new experience for Master Alfino. He must have had a... Oh my god, let me try that again. 'Twould seem that collecting firewood is a new experience for Master Alfino. His must have been a privileged upbringing. Have you the hides we need?" The bristly hide of a now hideless yak.
Ah, I should have known it would be you. Word reached me of a struggle with a small but well-armed band of trespassers. Forgive my comrades their hostility. Few come here uninvited, and fewer still with good intent. Now, tell me why you are here.
All right. What will you say to Lady Iceheart? We wish to stop Nidhogg's attack on Ishgard, and we wish to speak with you. Let's get right to the point.
So, you seek to stem the Dravanian tide with talk? A romantic notion. If you but knew the truth, the spark which lit the flames of this animosity, you would understand the futility of your quest. Shall I relate it to you? The sordid history my gift has shown me. That which the Holy See has taken such pains to suppress. 'Twas more than a millennium past when an Elezen tribe first sought to claim the lands of Kurthas as its home. Unfortunately for them, Kurthas was already home to dragonkind, and they were not inclined to make way for the invaders. Thus did a bloody war begin. A war which might well have rumbled on until one or the other side was exterminated, had it not been for the resolve of a single woman. That woman's name was Shiva. While those around her fought and died, she attempted to parley with the dragons, and in so doing discovered them to be possessed of profound intelligence and reason. The great worm, Hraesvelgar, in particular, so enchanted Shiva that she found herself growing to love the creature, whom her people considered a monster. In the eyes of a near-immortal dragon, however, the fleeting life of an Elezen is as that of a freshly cut rose. Scarce has the flower bloomed before it begins to fade and wither. Such melancholy musings plagued Hraesvelgar, who had found in Shiva an unexpected and beloved soulmate. He knew that all too soon, death would snatch her away from him. Unable to bear the thought of their separation, the maid bid the worm consume her, that their spirits might be entwined for eternity.
That's an interesting way of dealing with that problem.
Though loath to perform the deed, Hraesvelgar ultimately gave in to her plea, and soon thereafter the tale of their ill-fated love spread throughout the two warring factions. No more could they raise blade or claw against one another, knowing that the souls of their kin were so inextricably bound. In the days that followed, man and dragon learned to live in harmony, and together built a nation unlike any the world had ever known. For 200 years did this blissful age of peace continue, as it would to this day, had vilest envy not stirred in the hearts of the Elezen. It is said that worms owe their longevity to the boundless reserves of vitality found within their eyes. And 'twas in this belief that a traitorous band of knights deceived their allies of some 2 centuries, and took by force that which they coveted. Nidhogg, he who now stands poised to unleash his wormlings upon Ishgard, was the great dragon who lost an eye to Elezen treachery. And until he prizes it from the hands of the traitor's progeny, no amount of conciliatory words will stay his fury.
You are wrong, Lady Iceheart. Lest you misunderstand, I do not doubt your vision of the past. 'Tis true that Nidhogg greatly desired to reclaim the Eye. Indeed, it was for that very reason that I kept it with me as I roamed the land, attempting to draw him away from the city.
Good gods!
Until recently, Nidhogg seemed unable to resist its allure and pursued me relentlessly. Needless to say, that is no longer the case. Now, it would seem, he has fixed his attention on Ishgard itself, though he knows full well the eye does not reside there.
You believe he targets the capital for another reason?
I believe reason has all but left him. Through the eye, I feel much of what Nidhogg feels, and the dragon's thirst for vengeance will not be quenched by aught less than a sea of blood.
If Nidhogg is indeed lost to reason, might we not seek an audience with Hraesvelgr instead? He has thus far shown no inclination to aid in the invasion of Ishgard, and may yet welcome our efforts to broker a peace.
You still believe that a peaceable solution can be found? Very well. I will take you to him. Our road will lead us to Dravania, the homeland of dragonkind. There we shall ascend unto the clouds, where Hraesvelgr resides.
Oh, interesting. One of our crystals is relit.
Is autumn mist, my friend? I sense the many battles are beginning to take their toll. Rest a while, and should you lose sight of us, Dravania lies beyond the mountains to the west.
Curious. The vestiges of thy mistress's blessing are not as faint as once they were. Thy will to succeed grants thee unusual fortitude. But will it be enough?
Ooh. Alfino says, "We journey to the homeland of dragons, Gav. The scholar within me burns to see the sights I have but read about, as does the child within me, I confess. You're still a child, Alfino. Still a child. Smart one. Brilliant one." Stinian says, "Be on your guard, warrior of light. With the mistress of the heretics as our guide, we may yet find that we are being led to our graves." Ooh, these kind of look cool. All right, this is the fending gear. Maiming gear. All of it lower level than what I have, but you never know when they might make some cool glamour. Lady Iceheart stands ready to lead you and your companions into Dravania. You are Gav, yes? Pray, address me as Izael, if you wish. 'Tis passing strange, is it not, that fate should bring us together thus? Never did I think to walk alongside the Warrior of Light, but history is full of such unexpected alliances. Shall we make our way into Dravania, then? The chill of the Western Highlands is unrelenting, and I would sooner be under the sheltering canopy of the Chocobo Forest. All right, I'm gonna turn these in real quick, and then we can quick travel to Tailfeather, because I have that unlocked already, so we don't have to travel all, like, make the long trek there. I can quick travel to Tailfeather and drive back a very short distance, instead of having to drive a long distance. I think turning these in will also get me to level 72. Lucia says, well, you're certainly more reliable than any lordling I've ever met. They've only got eyes for dragons, even though I tell them time and again that if no one sees to the bears, there'll be nary a scrap to eat. But do they listen? I dare say everyone around here could stand to be a little more like you. Well, I said you'd be compensated, and I'm true to my word. I trust you'll consider this fair remuneration for your efforts. Bacon bread, haddock dip. Let's take bacon bread. Now, I had already unlocked all of the Aether Currents that you could pick up just by driving around the area. Slain those rooms already, have you? How did you find them? Did they put up much of a fight? Good work, lad. Clearly the Azure Dragoon doesn't travel with mere amateurs. It sounds like those rooms barely put up enough of a fight to be considered a proper warm-up. You clearly know what you're doing. If you want to try your hand at hunting down some dragons, speak with me again sometime. All right, let's go to Tailfeather.
Beyond Abalathia's spine, the great mountain range that spans the continent of Aldenard from east to west. Into the deepening shadows of Som Al, where lies the ancient home of dragonkind. To a land where the soil slithers and the skies seethe with sinuous shapes, they came.
I'm gonna see if I can pick up that next bard quest yet or not. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And I might be able to pick it up. In order to undertake this quest, you must first complete the main scenario quest, Mountaintop Diplomacy. Alright, can't pick it up quite yet. Let's go back to Reaper. Alfino says, this forest was mentioned in the pages of the new Eorzean Geographic. As I recall, the author advised travelers to give the local chocobos a wide berth. According to her, they can be remarkably aggressive. New Eorzean Geographic. It's a play on National Geographic magazine, which unfortunately has, I think, gone out of print. Just sad because it's a beautiful magazine. Estinian, do you sense them, Gav? A gathering of dragons to the west. Zale says, we now stand on the threshold of Dravania. The path to some All will take us far to the west, beyond the embrace of the forest's branches. It will be a long and demanding journey. Might I suggest that we take our rest at the village up ahead and see that we are properly provisioned? Alfino says, there's a village here? But I thought these lands the sole domain of dragonkind. Why would anyone choose to live in so perilous a place? Ezale says, the wild chocobos. Tailfeather was built by hunters who make their living capturing and selling the beasts. Their leader, Marsa Shaw, is an acquaintance of mine. Being a gregarious sort, he will no doubt welcome our arrival, and he will also possess more recent knowledge of the road we seek to travel. I trust there are no objections. Estinian, only to this ceaseless chatter. If we are to meet this acquaintance of yours, let us do it before Ishgard burns. Estinian's all, less talk, more action. I've already unlocked the chocobo stop. Making sure I didn't have to repair anything. Okay. Kind of an interesting outfit he's got on. All right. Well, tan my hide and call me Leatherface. We have visitors. Oh, and if it ain't the lovely Ezale, it's been too long, girl. Ezale says, yes, it has, Marshal Shaw. That it has. My companions and I are on a pilgrimage to some All. Might we stay in Tailfeather a while and prepare for the next leg of our journey? Marshal Shaw says, of course, stay as long as you like. In fact, I wouldn't suggest leaving the forest at all. The dragons have been absolutely bleeding murderous of late. Elfino says, forgive me, sir, but I'm not sure I understand. Do the dragons not bother you here in the forest? Bother us? Did Ezale not explain things to you, boy? I love how Stinian is just kind of leaning up against the wall there. Just kind of watching everything. You've seen them tower... Let me try this again. Marsa Shaw says, you've seen them towering Calum trees all about, haven't you? If you were flying above the canopy, you'd barely be able to see the ground. And as you'd expect, the local wildlife's canny enough to stay hidden beneath the leaves, which is why the dragons do their hunting elsewhere. And we can do ours in peace. Hello. Welcome. I see. Thank you for the explanation, says Elfino. Marsa Shaw says, you're welcome. Now, I know it won't stop Ezale here, but dragons ain't the only things you'll need to keep an eye out for, especially if you're set on heading west. I'm gonna take the fending one. Yeah, we want to pick up this Aether Current one. Marsa Shaw is looking for a reliable pair of feet. Probably means he's going to have us kill shit. I see you've been making the rounds, getting to know the hunters in these parts. Well, how'd you like to help a real hunter? I'm overseeing 3 camps set up to the east, but the lazy sods ain't sent me a report in over a fortnight, and I'm too bleeding busy to be playing messenger. You look right fierce enough to get the information out of them. It's a simple job that'll earn you some coin. Can't rightly say no to that. If that tickles your fancy, then you'll need to talk to the leaders of each camp. Leonuf, Guanare, let me say it right, and Ember. Hear what they have to say and get back to me when you're done. Let's see. That's what the aiming one looks like. That one's kind of cool looking. There you go, if you're into purple. That's for the healing one. And there's the casting one, if you like purple and gray. Okay, those actually look all pretty good. Marcia Shaw would give you fair warning about what awaits to the west. I dare say you're wondering what could possibly be worse than dragons, eh? Well, I'll tell you. The bloody Nath. They're what you might get if you cross an antling with a megalocrab and taught the thing how to walk on two legs. They never used to stray far from their hives out of fear of the dragons, but they've gotten a lot more aggressive of late, sending out war parties for malms in all directions. They've even taken to harassing the Dravanians in their own lairs, if you can believe it. And when they venture into the forest, which is more and more, by the way, they certainly ain't afraid to come after my lot. I can only imagine how much worse it'd be closer to the Nath's home territory. All right. My dog insists she has to go out, so I will be right back. Hey, we're back. Have to let the dog out. But I had to bring her back in right away. Sometimes if the weather's nice, we just, she loves to be outside. And she'll chase dogs and... Not chase dogs, I'm sorry. She'll chase squirrels and bark like crazy at anybody who's passing by, so I have to bring her back in. I have read widely of the world and its wonders, yet after taking but a few steps into the unknown, I'm reminded how much I still have yet to discover. Stinian says, these hunters scrabble in the shadow of dragons for naught but the love of coin. Greed inspires courage and madness in equal measure, it seems. Zale says, 'twould seem that much has changed in Dravania. The Nath were not wont to cause such strife when I lived here. Elfino says, you lived here? In Dravania? Aye. 'Twas in the time following the calamity. My family was dead. My home was gone, and I had fled from the bitter cold into these lands. I knew not the paths of the forest then, and wandered out from under the protection of its boughs. That was when I chanced upon Hraesvalgr. He had descended from his mountain lair to hunt for food. My exhausted mind could not contend with the size of the majestic worm, nor the vision of the past his presence visited upon me. Thankfully, Marsasham found my unconscious form at the edge of the trees and nursed me back to health, and in Tailfeather I remained for some time. Elfina says, hence your familiarity with the locals. But I interrupted you. You were saying these Nath were once a peaceful people? Izael says, peaceful would not be the most fitting description. They are a fiercely territorial tribe, and any who intrude upon their domain are attacked without hesitation or quarter. Outside the borders of their homeland, however, they are rarely hostile. Indeed, we were able to trade with them on occasion. Estinian says, they have changed then. What of it? We have not the time to creep through the underbrush on some roundabout route. I say we make straight for some owl and crush any unruly insect we meet underfoot. Izael says, a more direct path then. Very well. Let us first follow the trail west out of the forest and make for the statue of the Stained One. From there, we should have a fair view of the road that leads to some owl. Shall we? All right. Wonder if I have any... Oh, yeah. There's a current to the north of us. And Kester Ironheart has something. Well, paint me yellow and call me a chocobo. That's Millis' sightseeing log you've got there. Forgive me, I got carried away for a moment. I'm Kester Ironheart, cousin to Millith, and an explorer of sorts, like most of my extended family. When I last spoke with Millis, she told me of an adventurer with a keen case of wanderlust, an adventurer that I know now to be you. What say you lend me your log for a moment? Don't worry, I won't eat it or anything. There, and yes, there. That should do it, I reckon. It's no secret that Ishgard is home to some of the most remarkable sights in our realm. Mind you, I've not seen them all myself, but I certainly know where they might be found. And now, so do you, thanks to the notes and rumors I've seen fit to jot down in your sightseeing log. Yes, scores of stunning vistas are just waiting to be discovered. Your legs will not carry you to all of them, though. Should you find a particular spot out of reach, you might consider taking to the skies atop a black-feathered bird. Oh, but if I were to say more, I would be robbing you of the joy of discovering these spectacular views for yourself. Godspeed, my fellow explorer, and may this moment mark the beginning of a tour of wonder. Heavensward entries have been added to your sightseeing log. You must be level 50 or above to record Heavensward vistas. Travel to the location indicated and fulfill the necessary conditions, and you will complete the entry for that vista, earning experience points in the process. Use your wits and the notes provided by Kester to identify these stunning sights and the proper way to appreciate them and see Ishgard as only the greatest explorers have seen her. Yeah, some of them you can't get until you have flying unlocked. I've done a few of them on Tyrius. I haven't done all of them, but I'll probably do them more completely on Gav since I'm looking to basically do every kind of quest. Oh, almost. There we go. I had to get up to this camp, and this side is the only side you can get to it from. Have I mentioned I fail at jumping? I'm not a good platformer at all. When I play Guild Wars 2, and they have, sightseeing place. I can't remember the name of them because it's been probably a good 8 or 9 years since I played the game. When they're doing maps and unlocking vistas and stuff like that. I think the Vista is the name. I just go with a guild that's doing them and, use the Mesmer teleports. Leonov. Aye, things are going well enough. Been running into a bit of trouble with those giant bugs in these woods, though. See where else we gotta go. Alright, we're gonna go north. I don't think I can get up that way. Gwenare. Nothing out of the ordinary here. There's just the one bird that won't shut up. Haven't been able to catch a wink for all its bloody screeching. Birds can be loud, yeah. Yeah. I mean, thank God for Mesmers in Guild Wars 2. I mean, we have some people... I played a lot with the Gashkia Guild on the Sanctum of Ral server phenomenal group. If you're playing with Guild Wars 2 and you need a Guild Wars 2 guild, they're fabulous. They're fabulous. The only reason I'm not playing with them is because they don't have an active Final Fantasy 14 group too, and Clouder is fantastic. It takes me a while to find a good guild group. Because I do a fair bit of research before I decide on one to join. All right. And we're going to go up top. If I can figure out how to get up here. Wonder if I can jump there. Nope, nope. I have to go all the way around. You know, when I first did this, it took me like forever to figure out where to go. So I could not figure out how to get up there. Oh, it looks like we disconnected and reconnected. Let me make sure we're still recording. Okay, good. I had a pop-up notification that OBS had disconnected, but I've got the buffer on, so that hopefully keeps it smooth for you guys. Ember says, had ourselves a bit of an incident the other day. Some fiend came stomping out of the tree line and gobbled up one of our fresh-caught birds. Wasn't a damn thing we could do about it. If we're going to keep on in this area, we'll need some extra hands. You tell the chief that. All right. All right, we're going to keep on going on the route we're on. So I think that'll be faster. Yeah, did them the hard way. I could never... some of them I just failed. I don't know if it's my hand arthritis that kicks in or what. But some of those jumps I literally could not make. But Gashka had like map nights every week or two. And the leader would get a bunch of us. Like we'd have like 20, 30 people going at one time. And we'd have a bunch of us playing on Mesmer. And because you can, once you jump down from the spot, it ports you and 5 other people back up. So there'd be a bunch of us on Mesmers. And he did not mess around, man. Once you got, if you got behind, you got left behind, but he got a ton of vistas done. Like he would do the entire map in like 30 minutes or something crazy like that. Now, in the Old Republic, I suck at platforming, too. But you can summon, basically, characters to your location. And so what I did is, I got, like, 89 tunes on the Starforge server because of various server merges over the years. And so I will take a tune that... that I don't use very often, and I'll have somebody port that character to that location. I'll just park them. I've got like 5 or 6 of them parked in various locations. Elfino says, should we chance to meet Marsa Shaw again, remind me to thank him. Had he not warned us to expect the Nath, I doubt I would be standing here. Amid ruins that I would tentatively describe as Ishgardian, the style, if not quite identical, betrays a definite resemblance. Izael says, you have a scholar's eye, Master Elfino. This structure is, in fact, over 1,000 years old. It is a remnant of the age when our ancestors and dragonkind lived together in peace. Justinia says, you claim this as evidence of our harmonious past? I was taught that these buildings were constructed by heretics in honor of your Dravanian masters. This rubble inspires no such awe in me. Izael says, stubborn fool, how desperately you cling to the false teachings of your beloved Holy See. Elfino says, enough, both of you. You threaten the success of our mission with this incessant squabbling. Gav, pray, reason with these two. He of only head nods. What will you say? Our goals are the same. Set aside your differences for now. The truth of the past will be revealed. Or I can grunt. I'm gonna grunt, because why not? Gods above, even Gav has lost patience with you. We have a common goal, lest you forget, to prevent a war which will claim countless lives on both sides. If we are to accomplish this, you must learn to tolerate each other's presence. Trust in Gav's gift. In time, the secrets of history will be brought to light. Let that be enough, Estinian. Estinian says, you would have me keep my counsel until Gav's visions confirm the truth? Very well, but bait me not. Izael says, our meeting with Hraesvalgr will likely provide the catalyst Gav's gift requires, as it did mine. Let us press on. You know what? I'm going to take that. If I will have to be a healer at some point on this tune, because this tune is designed to go through everything. Which means, despite the fact that I hate playing healers, I will actually pick one up someday. Elfino says, dragons in the sky and Nath upon the ground. One must needs sprout eyes in the back of one's head to survive this land. Stinian says, these Ant-Men are bold to bring their war to the dragon's doorstep. Mayhap we should invite them to man the walls of Ishgard. Izael. She wishes to survey the approach to the distant towers. Spy you the 3 towers to the west? Am I looking west? Yeah. Ishgardians know them as Onyx Trine. The place serves as a roost for Hraesvalgr's lesser kindred. If we are to reach the peak of some all, then we must first beseech these dragons to open the way. But do not be disheartened. The one who leads them is a friend. Of rather more concern is the disposition of the Nath. Let us survey the approach to the towers and see if the path is clear. And believe it or not, I was coming out here to do a little bit of exploring. And I thought one area was totally closed off. Or I thought the western half of the place would be closed off and a wall did have blocked, but I was like able to do this kind of roundabout way to get to things. So I got a lot of the map explored. I want to pick up the Aether Current if I can. 353 yalms to the northeast. Two yalms to the east. be right around here some... Oh, there it is. In the water. Okay. So that's what an Aether Current looks like, if you're ever wondering. 921 yalms to the west. Okay. Gonna go back that way anyway. Wanted to go pick up that one Aether Current before we got too far away from it. Usually the Aether Currents are kind of in places you can explore a bit, so they're oftentimes a little bit off the beaten track. Probably up there in Nath territory. If you go here before you're really well leveled up, you really got to be careful not to aggro too much, because it's easy to get overwhelmed in here because they're pretty close together. And some places like this, you've got like 3 of them, and you know, it can be a hot mess real fast. 123 yalms to the southeast. Oh, there it is. It's kind of interesting music for this little zone. $1,335 yalms to the northwest. My guess is it's way up in this area that we weren't able to access. Trying to figure out what kind of creature that is. A Maya Sid. Okay. By the way, you probably have discovered that your nameplates are a different color than mine. I think they're probably default red. I make mine hot pink because they really stand out in the environment then. So, that way I know at a glance, no question, but that's an enemy. Elfino, the Nath are fast becoming a nuisance. They seem to plague our every step. Says Instinian. 'Twould seem the enemy of mine enemy is also mine enemy. That's true. That's very true. Izael, 'tis as I feared. The road ahead is teeming with Nath soldiers. Elfino says, Marshasaw did not exaggerate then. These beastmen have grown brazen indeed if they would threaten the dragons so openly. Do they intend to assault the lair itself? Izael says, I pray that they do not. Mighty though my Dravanian friends are, they are yet vulnerable to the Nath's muskets. There is no route save the one before us. Should the beastmen offer battle, we have no choice but to accept. All right. But wait, there's more. Now, I unlocked this already, but you'll see an exclamation point above this summoning stone. This is like basically the chocobo porter for the area. It's a good idea to have that one unlocked usually. Elfino? The scale of the structure is nothing short of astounding, but that is only to be expected, I suppose, given the size of its occupants. Justinian says. A greater dragon approaches. Izael, I take no pleasure in killing the Nath. 'Twas to avoid bloodshed that I agreed to join you on this journey. Well, cannot be helped. We may proceed into the courtyard together, but I leave the task of hailing its occupants to me. Oh, well, let me try that again. Well, it cannot be helped. We may proceed into the courtyard together, but leave the task of hailing its occupants to me. And keep your lance on your back, Dragoon. Stinian says, On my word to the Warrior of Light, I shall start no fight, only finish it. Izael says, You truly are beyond salvation. Come then. Well, at least he's being honest, you know?
Vidofnir!
Ah, 'tis thee, little one. From above I did mistake thee for a Nath. 'Tis well I chanced to look again, or thou wouldst now be ash.
Dear Vidofnir, how I have missed you. Would that I had come sooner, and not out of dire necessity.
Thou art troubled. Speak that I might know thy plight. Thou wouldst have father admonish his brood brother.
I would end this war without further bloodshed.
How am I to believe thee, little one, when thine own companion beareth Nidhogg's stolen eye?
Have care, dragon, or I shall gouge out one of yours.
Good, Estinian. Let's rile her up even more.
You forget yourself, sir. We are here on a mission of peace.
My sire's will forbiddeth me from inviting discord to our home. 'Tis for this reason and no other that thou still drawest breath, knight.
Vidofnir, please. We must be allowed to convey our intentions to Resvelgar in person, with words of our own choosing. Grant us this favor, and open the way to Som Al.
Thou hast ever been welcome, little one. But I cannot grant thy wish. I am bound to remain here and protect my kin from the Nath's god.
The Nath have summoned a primal.
Looks like a job for the Scions.
Pray excuse my forwardness, but if we were to eliminate the threat to your territory, would you consent to Lady Izel's request?
Ha! Dost thou imagine thyself equal to the task? To succeed where dragons have failed? 'Tis beyond thee, mortal. But thou art welcome to try, nonetheless. Only know that idle promises shall avail thee naught.
It would seem we have no choice but to make good on Alphino's offer. Why must our every bid for peace breed yet more war?
I am gonna get the matching pants, even though I'll never wear those. Oh my god, those are ugly. Poofy pants. Straight out of the late 1700s. Ooh, I learned Arcane Circle. Yes. It increases damage dealt by self and nearby party members by 3%. Once more, a primal rears its head, and once more the task of slaying it falls to you. Would that I, too, possess the echo. By the Fury, must we now defeat a primal that we might treat with a worm? I do begin to see how you gained your reputation for surmounting the insurmountable. Izel. What these purple pants look like. Yep, yep. They're ugly, man. They're just ugly. Izel seems preoccupied. Or Izel seems occupied with thoughts of the Nath and their primal. So, the Nath have summoned their god, and thus is the mystery of their newfound belligerence laid to rest. Justinian, are you not glad, Lady Iceheart? I thought you would applaud them for summoning a primal to further their own ends. After all, you did. I did not reach out to Saint Shiva to further mine own ends. I desired her strength only to forge anew the peace between man and dragon. But what a fool I am to speak of peace to you, a bloodthirsty savage who murders without thought or compunction. Alphino says, enough. Enough, I say. If the Nath have truly brought forth their deity from the ether, we must face it together or watch our hopes fall apart. All now rests upon this primal's defeat. But ere we think of confronting it, we must first study its origins. What is the nature of this god? What manner of faith sustains its existence? Izel says, My apologies. You are right, of course. Let us return to Tailfeather and consult with Marcechon. He knows more of the Nath and their culture than most. Ah, yeah, this, definitely isn't a spot I can't reach right now. Alright, back to Tailfeather. I'm gonna quick travel back there. Marcechon says, so they've all got issues, but none of them thought to ask me for help. Do they think I'll bite their heads off or something? At any rate, I'd best prepare to round up the birds from each camp. Thanks again for your help, friend. Say, since you've already struck up an acquaintance with my people and all, maybe you'd be willing to lend them a hand? Seems they talk to you of their troubles readily enough. Marcechon, oh, back already, are we? And met the Nath, did you? And what is it you'd like to... Summon a primal, you say? 7 hells. Well, I don't know bugger all about Nath religion, if I'm honest. Beyond their trading habits, there never seemed much point in asking. But it shouldn't be that hard to find out. From time to time, we barter with a small hive to the north and west of here, outcasts from the main tribe, from what I understand. I reckon they'd be willing to tell you a bit about themselves if you give them the right incentives. Alphino says, that sounds promising. And what exactly would a Nath consider to be the right incentives, unquote? Nothing your average hunter couldn't scrounge up in a day or two, but seeing as you're in a hurry, you might want to divide the chores amongst yourselves. You want a good-sized jar of land-trapped nectar, a basket of Kalum tree fruit, and, always a Nath favorite, a generous portion of young Nanka flesh. Stinian says, I shall gather the fruit. Leaping to the lower branches of these forest giants should present little challenge to me. Izael says, then I shall collect the nectar with Master Alphino's arcane assistance. Marcechon says, and that leaves you to bring home the meat. You'll need to carve it from the smaller Nankas that live in the rivers. 3 big hunks should be enough, I reckon. Once you got everything together, you'll need to set it down at what we call the trading post. Here, I'll mark the spot on your map for you. Alphino says, you've been most kind, Master Marcechon. Well then, let us attend to our respective tasks and reconvene at the trading post. I need hardly add that the last one there is a rotten Nanka egg. I told you he was a teenager. You're in charge of gathering the Nanka flesh, right? You'll find the beasts down by the riverbanks. Be sure to avoid the bigger ones carrying the unhatched spawn on their backs. I reckon 3 good hunks ought to do it. As soon as you got them, head over to the trading post and marked on the map and add them to your mate's offering. Simple. All right. All right. Oh my god! I just saw that. There's a little hatchling running around. Oh my god, that's hilarious. Little chocobo hatchling. Oh lordy. In the Willem River. Let's go find Alphino now. Stinian says, when I set out to master the Dragoon's jump, 'twas not to strike fear into the hearts of high-hanging fruit. Oh my god, Estinian, you're so great. Izael. Master Alphino possesses a rare talent for the arcane arts. Should he continue to apply himself to their study, he will become a formidable mage in time. It's like stuck behind our tree there. Alphino says, I was able to gather a goodly amount of nectar from the land traps, though I would not have known how to harvest it without Izael's help. Do you have the Nanka meat? Nanka flesh, the tender tail meat of an undeveloped Ninky Nanka. Splendid. I shall put this with Estinian's fruit and assemble a suitably generous-looking hamper for the nap. All right, we're gonna take that. Alphino is eager to make contact with the Nath. Well, everything appears to be in order. Assuming no one has any objections to my choice of presentation, I shall place our offerings at the trading post as instructed. Were I of the Nath, I think I would be suitably impressed. I'm not sure I knows that, but okay. Well, how long must we wait? Should we have sounded a signal or some such? Estinian says, calm yourself, Master Alphino. Our offering has not gone unnoticed. Click, click. Long has it been since hunters last came to trade, bearing gifts that filled the air with such delightful scents. Excited Nath says, Landtrap nectar. Exultant Nath says, Kalum tree fruit. Nath trio, and Nanka flesh. What delectable foods you have brought for us. Our meager existence is much enriched by your bounty. Click, click. Come, hunters, come to our hive if you would trade. Cramped and stifling our homes are, but the rancid incense keeps the dragons at bay. Cramped, stifling, and horribly smelly. But better to live in stench than be cracked and crunched by dragon jaws. Yes? Come, come, it is not far. Stinian says, strangely friendly, are they not? Or mayhap just strange. Alphino says, can those truly be Nath? Were it not for their appearance, I would think them wholly unrelated to the savage creatures that attacked us on the road. Izael says, these Naths seem harmless enough, almost jovial even. I would prefer, however, that we conclude our business with them as soon as possible. All right. Now, I would come up behind here. So otherwise you gotta like jump up some kind of... You'll say, oh, you could go around that way too. All right. Vath Fleetfoot. Click, click. Your presence has been announced to the storyteller. You must speak to our chosen leader in words, for we are Vath. We are the non-mind. Click, click. Welcome to our hive, hunters. You have brought delicacies much sought after by our people, and we are much pleased. What would you have in return? Elfino says, Honored Elder, pray allow me to begin by thanking you for welcoming us into your home and for accepting our humble offerings. My companions and I are come in search of knowledge, specifically knowledge of your people's god. Knowledge alone? What strange hunters you are. But if it is words you desire, then words you shall have. We are the Vath, the non-mind, and to speak is our fate. You will hear the tale of the Nath's god, of the god the One Mind summoned into our midst. Yzael says, The One Mind? These are the Nath who reside in the main colony? Yes, they are one, connected. But let us begin the story at its beginning. Some moons ago, a single dragon flew in from the east, bleeding and weak. It fell from the sky and into the hive, where it was swarmed by my brethren, and with spear and spell and musket, the dragon was slain. Stinian says, 'Twas likely one that had fled battle with my kinsmen. I should commend you for finishing the job. Yzael just looks at him. It's like, dragons are fierce and terrible adversaries. The One Mind would always cower when their winged shadows passed over the ground, but no longer. They had learned that a battle-weary Dravanian was easy prey. Thus did the One Mind decide to heed the words of the black-robed men. The One Mind would call forth our god and unleash his blades upon the dragons. Dravanian lands would become Nath lands, and ever larger would grow our domain. But our god ever hungers. The price he demands in crystals far exceeds the rewards for this war. We of the Vath despise and revile his insatiable existence. Oh, trying to decide which ring to take here. We are the non-mind. The whispers of thought are grown silent, and with our voices aloud, we must speak. Of necessity, then, was a storyteller chosen. Okay, that's kind of cool. Alright, the Vath Fleetfoot is examining the weapon stores with a concerned expression. Though we hear not each other's thoughts, generous hunter, you somehow know that we need help. Our weapon stocks are wanting. We need more. I would make a request of you. Please bring us muskets with which to defend ourselves. You can take them from the Nath nearby. 2 would be sufficient. I think we're going to have to go that way anyway, so we may as well pick that up. Stinian says, even a wounded dragon is a dangerous opponent. These ant-men did well to overpower one. Elfino says, the beast tribes have ever summoned their gods out of necessity. That the Nath should do so out of mere covetousness sets a worrying precedent. Yzael seems troubled by the Nath's war of expansion. Yzael says, I call upon the power of a primal for the greater good, conscious all the while that I do so at grave cost to the land. I reason that it is a necessary evil and willingly shoulder the burden of my sin. In suggesting that such crimes can be justified, you may argue that I presume too much. And you must surely see that I am aware of the magnitude of my transgressions. Not so the Nath. They summon their deity for no greater purpose than to expand their dominion. Elfino says, to a scion of the Seventh Dawn, one sworn to eliminate the primal threat. The distinction you draw seems questionable at best, but the fact remains that my grandfather risked unleashing the power of the 12 in an attempt to prevent the calamity. Thus, while I may not condone your actions, I at least understand them. Not so the Nath, as you so rightly put it. If they truly seek naught but territorial gain, I can only conclude that they are ignorant of the ruinous consequences of their god's insatiable appetite. The longer this primal is suffered to exist, the greater the suffering it will cause. It must be destroyed. Justinian, how lightly you propose the destruction of this god, Master Alphino, a being of whom we know not. Has it occurred to you that you may be sending the Warrior of Light to his death? No, Oh, you have the right of it, Justinian. 'Twould seem it is I who am guilty of presuming too much. Pray, forgive me, Gav. I could say nothing, or I do not fear my duty. Gav's does not fear his duty. Wait. Gav need not face this foe alone. Like him, I am blessed with the Echo's protection and may do battle without fear of primal influence. Let me bear this burden. Ha! Says Justinian. Do you truly imagine yourself a second warrior of light? Remind me, how many primals have you faced, my lady? Not that it matters. We know not where this god resides or how to challenge it. Unless you mean to pray until it appears? Justinian makes a valid point. Let us speak with the Vath and learn how best to secure an audience with their deity. In this, at least, I may be of assistance. Justinian, the young lord certainly appears eager to prove his worth. All right, gather information from the Vath. Gotta talk to 3 of them. Sibawai. We are Vath. We are the non-mind. We do not hear the one mind's thoughts. We cannot predict their will. There must be some way of infiltrating the main colony. Justinian's just out there, just standing around looking at things. Not talking to anybody. The Vath greet mine every question with cryptic utterances. I fear I am no closer to understanding the tenets of their faith. By the Fury, I would swear these beastmen know less about their god than I do. Vath Fleetfoot. Click, click. Put this idea from your minds, generous hunters. If you meet with our god, then he will have your souls. Surely you are not so generous as that. Click, click. You wish to meet our god. Offer yourself as a sacrifice, and you will soon be brought before him. We would mourn the loss of such generous hunters, however. You are generous hunters, yes? Many gifts you have brought, but not enough for all Vath to enjoy. Maybe you could bring us just one more? We are very fond of Nanko flesh. Yes, the meat of a young Nanko would make a fine repast. Alright, we gotta go back and get some more Nanko flesh. We have to go get some Nanko flesh. I believe there's a way you can jump up here. Yeah. There we go. It looks like they've gathered up. They might have something new to say. For once, I am in agreement with the Dragoon. Speaking with these beastmen is an exercise in frustration. Alphino, the Vath tell me that their tribe is not accustomed to giving each individual a name. Seems they only grasped the concept after they began trading with the hunters. And what Estinian says, and what has that to do with their primal or their faith, Master Alfino? Let us glean the information we require and be done with this place. You're wasting your time, man. We Vath do enjoy our Nanka flesh. Have you been out hunting yet? Yep. Another gift for the Vath. So unexpected. Well, how is this unexpected? Yes. You will have more of the words you strange hunters hunger for. Listen now. The senses of the One Mind are enmeshed by the Overmind. What one sees, all see. And what one feels, all feel. Alert a single Nath, and the whole hive is alerted. To reach our god undetected is all but impossible. Right. Somebody was asking how you play Viper. And let's give him some resources. I'm pretty sure he probably already knows these. But Icy Veins, Icy Dash Veins, I think. And the balance, if you Google Icy Veins FFXIV or the balance FFXIV, those are the two big sites right now. As I record this, for rotations and guides. Some prefer balance over Icy Veins. Balance is like the theory crafting site. There are lots and lots of videos too. Somebody else replied, Viper equals glowy buttons. Yes. Well, yeah. That is that's definitely true. If it glows, you click it. Sale says, how strange must spoken language seem to those who once shared minds. 'Tis little wonder the Vath are by turns so obscure and transparent in their meaning. Stenian says, I do not envy the Ant-Man their bond. Were every man's mind made known to his neighbor, Ishgard would not last a bell. Neither would the Uldans. They'd be at each other's throat in about 3 seconds. The Vath are wont to allude to certain concepts without explanation, but I believe I am beginning to grasp a few of the fundamentals. And from what I understand, the king-like Overmind sits at the center of Nath society, and its presence somehow allows its subjects to communicate without need of word or gesture. These Nath, the ones who inhabit the larger hive, are known as the One Mind, and it was by their combined will that the primal was summoned. Those who reside in the smaller hive, however, are the Vath, or the non-mind, who, for reasons that yet escape me, seem to have been excluded from the telepathic bond that connects their Nath counterparts. Thus are the Vath ignorant of the One Mind's thoughts and intentions. Estinian says, and of the nature of their own god. In summary, we have wasted our time. I'm going to check them out after I finish. Yeah, for sure. Anytime I pick up a new job, I try and take a look at that. Icy Veins has a leveling guide. It has a guide for each job, right? But it also has a leveling page within that job guide that has a slider bar on it. And you just slide it over to whatever level you're at, and it tells you which skills to use. Because, you know, as level 10, you use different skills than level 100, obviously. And I found that slider bar is like super helpful. It's like a little square. You just take your mouse and click on it and slide it back and forth. It's not immediately obvious that it's a slider bar. But that is like a really helpful feature. So kudos to whoever in Icy Veins made that up, because that was a great idea. Izael says, not so, perilous though it may be, the Vath did furnish us with one certain method of approaching the primal, as sacrifices. Should we allow ourselves to be captured in the environs of the colony, the Nath will bring us before their deity to make an offering of our souls. I'm going to decline. I want to see if she has anything else to say. All rest upon the destruction of the Nath's god. If we must surrender ourselves, sacrifice to approach the abomination, freely will I do it. Does he have anything today? I will admit, I had begun to wonder whether non-mind meant brainless. Apparently not. Whoever wrote Estinian's character did a great job. He's just like... His personality is fantastic. I love it. And his like dry humor is great. All right, forgive me, but let us be clear about what it is that you propose. You mean to say that you would deliberately provoke the Nath, surrender yourself into what might generously be termed their custody, and then wait until their gods arrive to claim your soul? Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Izael, that fairly well describes my plan. You will join me in this endeavor, will you not, Gav? Like I'm ever gonna turn down a chance to kill a primal. Judging by the great risks you took to prevent the summoning of Saint Shiva, you are not a man to err on the side of caution. That's true. Estinian said, would that I could fight at your side, warrior of light, but the power of the dragon is no protection against primal influence. Forgive me, but I must remain here with Master Alfino. Izael says, then it is settled, Gav. You and I shall challenge the guards at the entrance to the colony. Once the hive is roused, we shall feign a brief show of resistance and then allow them to take us prisoner. Okay, do the boys have anything else to say? Estinian says, I would be curious to test my lance against the beast tribe's god, but I cannot risk falling under its sway. Tell me of the battle upon your return, warrior of light. Alfino says, Estinian's words stung me more than I care to admit. 'Twould seem I have begun to take your victories for granted. Do be cautious, my friend. There's a quest called The Hunter Becomes the Quay. I'm gonna go pick up that blue quest in Annex Shrine. Because it might have something I need to do in Nath territory. It might not, but I'd rather not backtrack 18,000 times into Nath territory. Quest giver might be up top here, actually. They conveniently put this little guy here so that you know that you can turn, because if you come up along here and you don't happen to turn your camera to the side, you may completely miss that there's actually a room in here. S. Kas looks upon you in wonder, curious of your potential. I sense a great power within you. Yes, you will make a suitable adversary. Our younglings must learn the hardships of battle. You will find them just beyond the tower. Go and hold nothing back. Oh, this isn't the way I want to go. Oh, I can't jump down there. Oh, but I can jump down here. All right, let's go out. May as well take care of this along the way. Cum gan, cum cur, and cum score. I don't understand. Man is not fit to battle with dragons. Nevertheless, I will do as father asks. I take no pleasure in preying on the weak. If you cannot best cum score, I have no business with you. Battle with you? I would rather not waste my time. Perhaps cum gan would find amusement in something so trivial. Wow, that's not possible. My brothers will make you pay. How dare you do such a thing to Kam Gan? You may have beaten him, but your game ends here. Or your games end here. Spoken like a true 8-year-old. But how? Where did you obtain such power? No matter, Kam Kur will deal with you yet. Okay. What trickery is this? I will not let you make a mockery of me and my brothers. Seems like I'm doing just that there, bud. Good lesson in pride goeth before the fall. So this is the strength of man? Perhaps we've underestimated your kind. Yeah, that would be about it. Your strength impresses me. Perhaps your kind are not the frail creatures I thought them to be. You defeated Kamkur. I don't believe it. Alright, let's get back. I know we'll have to go into and out of Annex Shrine about a bazillion times, so I'm not in a rush to turn that in. We'll have plenty of opportunity to do that. We have to slay Nath fire drones and obtain Nathic flintlocks. Okay. We'll be doing that. Click. Intruders, your lives are forfeit. Pretty sure not the case. I'm gonna get this quest done because I think we'll end up in a cutscene right. We'll end up in a cutscene right after completing this. The Overmind must by now be aware of our intrusion. Let us press on into the hive and ensure that we have our host's undivided attention. The first time I did this quest, I had to come through and, like, I wasn't high enough level. And, oh my gosh, it was so slow to get up through here. But, you know, it was okay. Izael is fighting. Leave these drones to me. We can join forces again once we are deeper within the colony. It also didn't help that I had not yet learned the, you can, like, go behind them, and if they don't see you right away, they don't aggro kind of thing. Got a heater on right next to me because it gets cold in my room when it's cold out. And, one of my cats is sleeping right next to it. I bet she loves the heat. She is a very happy kitty right now. Isael says, that should be sufficient. If we did not have our host's full attention before, we must surely have it now. Our audience with the Primal may be granted soon after our capture. Pray advise me once you have steeled your mind for the battle to come. Lord of the Hive. Isael awaits an opportunity to surrender to the Nath. You are prepared, then? Hold here, Gav. When next the Nath come, we offer no resistance. Surrender, intruders. There is no escape. Enough. We surrender. We throw ourselves upon the mercy of your God. Anybody besides me think they're kind of creepy? Just, ugh. My puppy is barking. They seem eager to proceed. Good. When they take us before their lord, pray leave matters to me. If what I know of summoning rituals holds true, I shall be well placed to act. Mark the sound of the river rushing through the ravine behind us. Passing loud, is it not? I imagine the noise would serve to mask our escape should we need to withdraw temporarily. But you are prepared, are you not? I do hope so. If I were to be dragged away for sacrifice while you were haggling over the price of potions, I should not be amused. Try to escape and we will break your fleshy legs. Nice. All right. Anything else for Isael? Though I dismissed Master Alfino's concerns, I confess that I did wonder how the Nath might treat their prisoners. Happily, it would seem they are not wont to harm sacrifices, nor even to disarm them. Plainly, they imagine their god invulnerable. The plan goes better than expected. Yeah, I was wondering just that myself. It's like, how are we going to fight if we're disarmed? Okay.
Now we have but to wait.
O Lord Ravana, master of the sacred blades, wrath of the colony, conqueror of the world, hear our prayer. Pray grant unto your devoted children the gift of your divine presence.
He comes.
All strength to the colony. Speak and I shall listen. Oh, glorious General, we have captured intruders and would make unto you an offering of their life's blood. These feeble fleshlings dared to invade Natlands.
Hear me, Lord Ravana. My companion and I did not come to contest your children's territory. We wished only to learn the reason you wage war against the dragons.
Thou wouldst flirt with death merely to satisfy thy curiosity. Wherefore should the glorious conquests of the Nath concern thee so, Elizabeth? Ah, mayhap thine own kind struggle against the worms fareth poorly, and thou art desirous of a pact.
We crave no alliance, Lord Ravana. Only peace. We would bring an end to our war with the dragons. Yet so long as they remain embroiled in this conflict with your children, our goal shall remain out of reach. Never before have the Nath risen up in such numbers, and never yet with you at their head. Why do you lead them to war?
Thy question hath no meaning. To live is but to fight. Long have my children waited, gathering their strength in the shadow of thy ceaseless conflict. The Nath would see the Dravanians slain, and their territories secured. And by such fervent prayers am I now given form and purpose.
As I feared, your very existence is an obstacle to our goal. Since you are so fond of fighting, we challenge you, Lord of the Nath. And should we emerge the victors, I would have you swear to withdraw your soldiers from Dravanian soil.
Thou art bold indeed to risk thy fleshy hide so readily. Very well. I, Ravana, fourfold master of the blade, do accept thy challenge. But should I emerge the victor, I would have thee swear to serve in mine army till thy last breath is spent. Do you accept?
I do. And I believe the first bout is mine.
What is this? A god clad in flesh?
Is aught amiss, my lord? Thou wilt not break thy word, I trust.
Mine oath is unbending as steel, little goddess. Thy ruse will but add to mine enjoyment.
Uh-oh.
I thought myself stronger. Mayhap with more crystals?
Be thou god or maid, thou art nothing to me. And what of thee, mortal? Art thou warrior or craven?
Warrior of Light. That's what I am.
A warrior, then? Good! Mayhap thou will provide more sport than thy feeble companion.
Now we gotta do Thok Hard. Ysael says, forgive me, I was overconfident. The wrath of the colony is undefeated. Victory to the Nath! Alright, we're gonna queue up for that one. Ah, here we go. We got to pop. Oh, I don't have any food on. Can't eat any food until I'm in the instance. Kind of kicky music.
Dance to the song of ringing steel. Furious as a blaze.
Okay, I think we ought to get up back here. All right. Oh, gotta get out of the fire.
Feel my grace.
Okay, we gotta kill these butterflies. We're looking in particular for the moon Ghana, which is a bigger one. I don't know if it shows up in this round of them. There we go, there's the, it's a bigger one. If they don't get killed in time, I think it gives him extra power. I don't know, I've never been in a position where they didn't die.
In the glory of combat. Unyielding as the earth.
When you run back, you want to make sure you have a fence behind you. Oh my god. This bass singer, oh. All right, pretty cool. Scholar gets the extra comm. Aw, somebody gave me a comm too. That was really sweet.
You do not disappoint, warrior of light. Would that I had your skill in battle. I do begin to see why so many place their faith in you. For all his savagery, I do not think Ravana one to break his word. Provided the dragons do not trespass upon Nath lands, they should have little to fear of the Primal's biting blades. We have done well, have we not? Come, let us return to Vidofnir and share these glad tidings.
Once more you achieve the impossible, bringer of light. But with every mortal heart that succumbs to fear and fury, another voice is joined to the chorus, beseeching divine succor. At their bidding, warring gods will shake the firmament, and your world will be consumed in the swelling storm of chaos.
All right. Where are we? Oh, yeah. The music in this game is phenomenal. Just phenomenal. In some parts I go, I've heard it like 18 million times now. But, it's amazing. Zale says, never since we first fought have I seen you draw upon the full extent of your power, and never from afar till this day. You are a marvel to behold, Gav. Well, 'tis time we rejoined our companions. They will be eager to hear the tale and to continue our journey. We have to go to... there. I think it's going to be faster with the tail feather, and I got to turn in a quest there anyway. A hunter becomes the Quay. Marcia Shaw is wrestling with a new kind of problem. One of my men was attacked by a chocobo. You might think that's a common story, what with all the hunting we do, but I was told this one was unnaturally big. Of course, in the end, size don't matter. We can't be having our quarry stalking us. That's why I'm planning to capture the beast before it harms any more of my men. I already know he is a reliable handler of the birds. That's why I need your help tracking it down. Think you can lend old Marcia Shaw a hand one more time? If the prospect piques your interest, it'd be best to start off by asking the leaders of my camps what they know of the monster. Come back and share your findings with me when you're done. Well, while we're out doing this, I'm actually going to go up this way, start at the north, and work my way south. Just because it's easier to get up those little plateaus that way. If I start up here, my trip is always down instead of up. And Bear says, Bird ain't scared of us hunters, I can tell you that much. It's rare one of us comes away from an encounter with it unscathed. Feather flea? Injured hunter, huh? You ain't never seen a chocobo like this one. Monstrous it was, with a razor-sharp beak. Guarane. Oh, Gwenere. See that cage there? Blasted chocobo pulled the door right off its hinges. Most like it was trying to rescue the bird inside. Warrior of Light, chocobo rescuer. You know, from the way I heard it, one of the hunters was attacked unprovoked and got knocked unconscious by a single kick. He never heard of a chocobo doing that. Okay, let's go back to Martha Shaw. Season Tracker says, chocobo that big? Hunting it could prove to be an interesting game. Marissa Shaw says, seems that chocobo's been stirring up trouble all around the forest. While you were gathering information, I went out and checked the traps that are set up around Trail Feather. Ain't nothing left of them but scattered straw and broken wood. Can't say we've ever dealt with a problem like this one. Might be that this chocobo has taken some kind of revenge on us hunters, and these acts are a means of provoking us. By all accounts, this chocobo is stronger and more clever than the rest. I expect capturing it won't be a simple feat. Okay. All right, back to our main job. Have you the muskets? Nathic flintlock, a queerly shaped firearm wielded by the Beast Tribe's fire drones. Thank you, Hunter. With these we can arm ourselves, defend ourselves. We are of the same blood of the Nath, but even we find it utterly unnerving. The way they think as one, the way they move as one, it is hard to imagine us as the same people. Gav, Lady Zale, thank the 12. Lord Ravana, you say? How curious that the Vath never mentioned his name. You are quite certain he will keep his word? Zale says, there was honor beneath his savagery. That we survived the encounter at all was a miracle. A miracle I must attribute to Gav. Estinian says, never did I doubt you, warrior of light. Unlike some, You were gone so long that Master Alfino here nigh lost his wits with worry, fretting like a maid for her sweetheart he was. Estinian, was that truly necessary? Estinian says, not truly necessary, but certainly true. Alfino says, what matters is that the primal is banished and our promise fulfilled. We would return to Vidalfnir without delay. Lest you forget, this was but a means to secure an audience with the worm Hraesvelgr. Nidhogg's minions will not be halted by idle chatter. Come now, we must make every moment count. Azale says, you are unkind, Estinian. For all his experience and intellect, Alfino is but still a boy. He just sighs. Alfino's out pouting like a boy, too. Tis natural for him to feel concern for his companions. Estinian. You should have seen the boy fretting. 'Twas a sight to behold. He sails us. Tease him no more. Master Alfino is to be applauded for his sense of responsibility. Given his years, 'tis little wonder the burden weighs heavy upon his shoulders. Just wanted to see if they had anything more for us. Okay. Alfino is keen to inform Vidofnir of Lord Ravana's defeat. Shall we be on our way to Annex Trine, then? I would not have the dragons think that we have forgotten our bargain. The naming of Vath. Okay, that's a Beast Tribes quest. Okay. So I'm gonna decline that for now. We shall pick it up at some point. I'm gonna quick travel over to Annex Trine. Alfino says, Vidofnir would be pleased to hear of Lord Ravana's defeat and of his pledge to recall his soldiers. Zale, you should be the one to break the news. The victory was yours, after all. Stinian, will the dragons now honor her word? That remains to be seen. Thou art returned, little one. Hast thou abandoned thine ill-conceived contest with the Nath? Zale says, Nay, my friend, we return in triumph. By Gev's hand was the beastman's god, Lord Ravana, laid low. I thought she just said, hey, you tell him. You tell her. Vidofnir's a girl, I think. In his overconfidence, the Primal swore to withdraw his followers from your lands in the event of his defeat, a promise we believe he will keep. The Nath shall trouble you no longer. But I'm seeing what my son was doing, and he's pulling the door too, so he can play his games. Vidofnir says, the deity is slain then. How didst thou contend with his biting blades? But the particulars matter not. Thou hast fulfilled thy promise, and I shall fulfill mine. Attend me, mortals. Hie you unto the deepest reaches of morn, and there shall you find Halo, the altar from which you may begin your ascent to the summit of Sum-Al. But be fairly warned, the minions of Nidhogg shall not lightly suffer your presence on that sacred mount. By your struggles within the cavern shall I judge your party possessed of sufficient fortitude to proceed. Ysael says, we shall not Ysael says, we shall not disappoint you, Vidofnir. If memory serves, the Cavern of Morn is entered from the second floor of the central tower. Let us begin the climb. Be fairly warned, the minions of Nidhogg shall not lightly suffer your presence on the Sacred Mount. Okay. How to feed your dragon? That's really a quest. I will tackle that later. So the younglings have learned their place. Do not worry, my intention is not to foster ill relations, but to teach. The younglings grow too prideful, doubting the strength of man. But thanks to you, they now understand. All right. Oh, we have to go all the way up there. Okay. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think we got to go up. Oh, no, we got to go out here. Okay. I like these. We have like mini T-Rexes running around. All right, the compass does not detect any nearby currents. We got them all. Kind of came through here a while back, and this door was definitely closed off, so. Little car. Burn it down. Burn them all. Snore. I'm gonna pick up this lookout spot because this is kind of an out of the way place, and I don't want to have to come back here more than once. Okay, lookout did not work. Ah, pray / pray. The ancient altar sits in the fiery depths of Morn, once adorned by statues depicting a girl and a dragon. Only the latter has survived to the present age. Lift your eyes above the structure, and the base of the floating peak of Samog can be seen. I can't turn my camera quite up that high, but yeah. Well done, little one. As promised, I shall open the way to some All Summit for thee and thy companions. Heed me now, children of man. The domain you seek to enter hath not seen visitors of your kind in nigh on 1,000 years. Though I freely grant you passage, your presence shall not be welcomed. To my kin, this mountain is revered as holy ground and resting place both. Wear you the minions of Nidhogg during your ascent, for 'tis certain they shall take great offense at your intrusion. Isael says, "We are grateful for your warnings, gentle Vidofnir." Vidofnir adds, "My final words are for thee, Dragoon. Have care to keep the stolen power thou wieldest in check, lest it breed further despair." Isael says, "Stinian?" Says, "The way is open. Let us not tarry here." A moment. Shall we blindly forge on, knowing the dangers that await us? Tiamat herself is said to guard this peak. Stinian says, "I do not fear Nidhogg's consort. Any dragon foolish enough to bar our path shall feel the sting of my lance." Spoken like a true butcher. Need I remind you that we came to parley a peace? Let us be clear, heretic. 'Twas to save Ishgard and her people that I first lent my support to this doubtful venture, and 'tis for their sake that I go now to speak with Hraesvelgr. But I said nothing of Tiamat. Should the opportunity present itself to rid my people of one of their deadliest enemies, I shall take it. That is my duty as an Azure Dragoon. You are beyond redemption. Elfino says, "We will accomplish nothing by bickering. If we are to meet with Hraesvelgr, our path leads up the mountain. We shall defend ourselves if attacked, but avoid conflict wherever possible. What other choice do we have?" Okay, let's finish up seeing what they have to say, and then we are going to call it for the live session today. So, Elfino says, "We shall defend ourselves if attacked, but avoid conflict wherever possible. What other choice do we have?" Isael, "A dragon lost to anger is beyond all control. This I learned to my sorrow when I unleashed the horde upon Ishgard." Stinian says, "I feel the weight of Dravanian rancor pressing down upon me." All right. Let's get to our cat joke. All right. Why don't cats like house parties? Too many catastrophes. Catastrophes. Okay. And on that final note, I will pray that you have a great rest of your day and rest of your week. And Mama Cat Gamer is going to sign out for the evening. You have a great one, cats and kittens. Like and like and subscribe, and hit the bell for the notifications if you want to have more notice that we're going live or that I put a video up. So we'll be continuing the story through Heavensward. I think the posted ones are getting up through I want to say about level 40. So that's where we're at right now, and as I get more edited, I'll post more. So thank you, cats and kittens. You have a great rest of the day, like I said, and rest of the week. Enjoy. Hopefully it's getting a little warmer where you're at, and I pray for everybody who's been going through the blizzards down in the deep south. Holy cow. And for everyone who's suffering through the forest fires, I pray that you are staying safe, okay? And that you're not having to go through some horrible trials in your life. So hang in there if you are. There's help coming. There's help coming. Okay. And have a good one.